Feyi. La di da di da. Excuse me? This was Feyi. Where? A man, my future man, because I'm single. Are you okay? Hey, and welcome again to Shelly's Reading Corner, or is it Shelly's Book Corner? I feel like I'm bouncing between the two, and I don't really know which one I'm gonna stick with. Let's just say it's okay. So welcome again, guys. Today we're here for a session of rants and reviews, or is it reviews and rants? I don't even know, because I feel like I do more ranting than I do reviewing. But let's see how today goes. Today, we were going to be looking at this lovely little thing. You made a fool of death with your beauty by Akweke Imezi. Guys, I put my review on Bookstagram already, but guys, there's so much to be said. Now, why I wanted to really speak on this book is because it was a lovely book, especially addressing grief, how people deal with that grief, how long some people can take. But what really told me, Shelly, you must speak on this, is because I saw someone who read it, and for some reason they were repping someone who no one should be repping after reading this book. Now, before we go forward, let's just say what I said before. I recommend you go and read this book before you come over here. Because chances are, and I won't even say chances, I will be dropping some spoilers, or one spoiler at the least. Like, the bare minimum is one. Like, there will be something I say. So, from this point forward, anything you hear that you are not aware of, please do not come blaming me, because I want you, okay? So I will give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I've been hearing people say I am Team Nasir. Excuse me? After reading this book, after getting to page last, yeah? The very last page, you are saying that you are for Nasir against Alim? Are you okay? Are you okay? Guys, there's no way. Like I said, I do more rant than review, but let's just actually talk about it. So this book is about Feyi, who is just living her life. She's an artist, and she's living her life, but quite frankly, it's been tough for her because her husband died, and they hadn't even been married that long. Like, right from the get, like, I think a year into their marriage, he died through a terrible car accident. She made it away, like, scot-free. She barely had any injuries, but he died. And that is just like, imagine the trauma, the survivor's guilt. And also, that was her husband, and this is 5 years later, and she still hasn't really moved on from it. And I can't blame her. A lot of people, they just never move on after the loss of a loved one, the loss of a spouse, So I can't blame her. It's 5 years. She hasn't been with anyone. She hasn't even considered dating. It's just not on her mind. And you know what? I support her. Take your time. Like, don't let anyone rush you in your grieving process. I was all for her in Feyi. You wouldn't really know this if you the minute you start reading this book, because the beginning of the book is chaos. All you see is Feyi in the bathroom with a man that she met at a party. That is literally the first scene of this book. And then she goes on to tell us, oh, this is the first guy I've been with since the death of my husband. I said, yeah, okay. So maybe tell us that before, because all I'm saying is, oh, public bathroom. Okay, did we need to see this? Is this relevant? What's going on? And obviously she takes us through how they met and how this happened, because her best friend, bless her, encourages her, to really just actually go for her. Best friend's just like, you can't keep yourself down like this. You need to get back out there, put yourself back out there. And I understand what she's saying, but like I said, take your time in your grieving process, whoever you are. But she went to a party and she's like, ooh, this man fine. Let me make a move. And she does. And they end up in the bathroom, as we saw in the very, very first scene. And from there, they become friends with benefits. And she doesn't want to get emotions involved because then that's going to make her think of her husband. And she doesn't want to open that can of worms. She's still not ready for that part yet. She doesn't want any type of commitment. And then one day after a while, she's like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And even before they broke it off, he started introducing her to his friends. And one of his friends was a bit interested in her. And then she was just like, how dare you? Like, you see me here with your boy. And then she was all about it. And then when her and Milan, that was his name, finally broke up, or Milan, however you want to pronounce it, this guy comes back. And then she's just like, I was with your boy. He's like, I don't care. I want you. What you did is your business. And she's just like, okay, he's sweet. And he really was nice. He was really cool. This guy is Nasir, by the way. And she's trying to take it slow. And he is understanding of that. And then one day he says, you want to come over to my island? I'm going back home to visit my fam. And then she's just like, what? And he's just like, yeah, there is an opportunity for you as an artist. And she's just like, you know what? This is for work. And we're not going to be doing anything. And he is still understanding of that. And that's cool. So she goes, she says yes, she goes. And the minute and on the plane, she finds out that his dad is this famous chef. Think Gordon Ramsay, but in this universe. And then, like, he's a great chef. He has TV shows, literally the Gordon Ramsay of this world. And she's freaking out. She's just like, oh, fangirling. Like, that's normal, if you fangirl over someone that you love watching on TV. But when she lands and she meets him, what do you think happens? Yeah, that's what happens. She's attracted to him instantly. She is attracted to him in every way, shape, or form. Instantly. I said, oh, so this is the direction we're going in. Wow. So this entire book is her obviously still going through her grieving process and trying to sort out her feelings for her boyfriend, not boyfriend's father, and her boyfriend, not boyfriend's. Because at one point she's just like, he's sweet, but there's nothing there. That spark isn't there. And you can't blame someone. You can't force anything. And through circumstances which they definitely could have controlled, she and the father, Alim, definitely could have controlled, they get together and it's chaos. Nasir reacts badly. She doesn't know what to do. And in the end, they get together. So, yeah, that's the plot of the story. But then, let's actually get into it. Why are you guys picking Nasir? Okay, yes, Nasir is very, very sweet. Let's not get it twisted. Like, he didn't rush her when she made her boundaries clear. He's like, cool, I'm going to give you your time. We can just take it slow however we want. Let's just say that we're friends for now. And, he was cool. And he orchestrated this opportunity for her, which would really advance and further her career, as being a good friend. But let's not lie. Nasir knew what he was doing. Yes, he was being a good person. But at the end of the day, he was doing it because he's just like, this will make me appear better to her. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to give you an opportunity and I expect sex, but he's just like, this will make me seem better. So it wasn't like he was doing it for no reason whatsoever. So let's get that out of the way. Yes, he is sweet and he's connected, but that's not important. Nasir, the way he reacted after he found out about her and his dad, understandable. But his actions were unacceptable. We will not have it. This man berated her and literally physically, he basically assaulted her. He was legit trying to drag her out the yard. Yeah, it was his house and da-da-da-da. He was upset. But under no circumstances, I don't care what has happened, do you think it is okay for you to verbally and basically physically abuse this gal because she pissed you off, or she's up your dad? I don't care what they did. I'm not condoning Feyi's activities. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, that behavior is unacceptable. And yeah, you guys are going to say, oh, it was in the moment. He apologized afterwards. La-di-da-di-da. And to be fair, he did, and that's cool. After he berated her again, talked bad about her to his friends, bad-mouthed her all over, even to the art gallery where she had her work. He did a lot before he finally apologized, okay? And I am a big believer of forgiveness. So, guys, I accepted his apology at the end, and I'm just like, I encourage Feyi, even though this is a book, I definitely encourage her to forgive him. But that's not why I'm saying we shouldn't be Team Nasir. That's part of it, yeah. But that's not why I'm saying it. not like she saw Nasir's father Alim and said, he's richer and he is my fangirl crush and I'm going to just ditch Nasir and go for Alim. That's not what happened. She landed and the attraction was immediate, okay? Immediate. And then she saw him and she said, that is my man. And then she realized, crap, that is my man's dad. I'm finished. She felt guilty for her actions. She felt guilty for her feelings. And guys, you know how bad that is to feel guilty for your feelings? We have to sympathize with Feyi here. Let's not judge her too much. But so we're not going. So it's not even like it's gold digger status, which is what Nasir accused her of. By the way, you accuse me of being gold digger. Please be out of the way for me. You've already lost. That's one thing. So it's the instant attraction. Let's remember when she met Nasir, she didn't even know she didn't even knew she met Nasir, because in the first scene where she was banging Millen, apparently Nasir was there. He even pointed it out to her that, oh, you didn't even notice me, you just noticed Millen, my friend. I'm just like, that don't tell you that the attraction is immediate. And I know some people, the attraction builds over time, or you start to notice someone or see them in a different light after so many things happening, yada yada yada. But that is not the case, okay? And Nasir is described to be super attractive, but if I have preferences and you don't match that preference, what am I going to do? Like, why are we encouraging people to settle? This is what you guys are doing when you guys are saying Team Nasir. You guys are encouraging her to settle, because I'm not saying settle as in like he's not as good as his father. He's not a better option. I'm just saying that for her and her preference, he is not it. Okay? He is not it. Why are you guys Team Nasir? Please explain to me. Yeah, I want someone to come with me with sense and explain to me why you've decided that Nasir was the one that you would choose. And Alim Blake, guys, Alim Blake was sexy. I am definitely Team older men. I'm definitely more attracted to older men in general, but their age gap was a bit wild. I won't lie. So that's a bit wild. I'm not that far of an older men type of thing. But the attraction was there. They related on a deeper level. Alim understanding what she's going through and she's understanding what Alim's going through. Like, it was a connection that was formed through something that couldn't even be expressed in words, okay? It was that deeper connection, yeah? So when someone has that connection and the automatic attraction, you guys are expecting me to go and vote for Nasir. Where? In the world of logic, on earth, does that make sense? Like, guys, you guys are hurting my feelings here, because I just can't see why anyone would pick Nasir in that situation. Let me say, Nasir is an amazing guy, but in that situation, he wasn't the one to be picked. For Feyi, he wasn't the one to be picked. And quite frankly, if we are looking in a way of just, let's take Feyi out of the equation, I would still pick Alim. But y'all can't blame me for this, okay? And let's get my I like older men thing out of the way. Let's think about her, okay? Quick here. I feel like we should look at her first, because the way she described Alim Blake, yeah? Y'all gonna tell me for real y'all finna pick Nasir? Alim Blake is a man who can cook for you, is a man who's witty, is a man who is very sensitive and very sweet, tender-hearted. Communication is a big thing for him. He knows how to control his emotions, even in the face of chaos. And yes, I am throwing shade at Nasir for the way he behaved after he found out about them. Because let's actually think about it. He was just assuming things. Because he didn't know if they did anything. Because they were really taking their time. They were really holding out. They're just like, we are not going to do anything until we find a way to speak to Nasir, or until we're sure. Obviously, they did what they did, Feyi and Alim. But they tried to be very respectful of it. But yeah, so I don't think this was very much of a review. This was more so a rant to the people who are Team Nasir. I want you to reread this book. specifically Team Nasir, I want you to reread this book and then come to me and tell me your choice again. Okay. And if it's still Team Nasir, I want you to reread this book, yeah? Reread it until you see why it should be a limb. Because I'm trying to figure out where Nasir is making sense to y'all. I can't see it. So when you guys reread it and come to the correct conclusion, then, come back to me, come back to this video, and we can all smile together, recognizing that Alim Blake is one fine man, okay? And you know what? I support that relationship. Feyi and Alim forever, okay? Now, my rant is over for now. Because I feel like my written review did all that it needed to do. I don't feel like I need to say any more in terms of like reviewing it. I mean, the plot was nice and fast-paced, as we can tell by the way it started. It moved along very well. The characters were great. We got to see different characters, their personalities, and there was so much potential for the other characters as well. So it was great to actually build on that, but not take away the attention from Feyi. That was amazingly done. So honestly, applaud to that. I'm actually kind of hoping that we get like books about like some of the other characters, because I would love to see what happens to a few of them. And yeah, the actual the actual plot was actually very, very well done. I love how they handle Feyi's grief, and the emotions are hard to write in a book, but everyone's emotions and everyone's reactions was realistic, and the way that they were tackled and approached was very well done as well. Okay, the relationships and the way the relationships happen, from Feyi and Milan to Feyi and Nasir to Feyi and Alim, they were all over the place. This was them. This was Feyi. This was Feyi mixing up with everybody. Well, Feyi said, "You know what? I gotta do what I gotta do." She didn't got to do any of that. She actually didn't have to do any of that. Feyi was just, her mind was not where it needed to be, and she was trying to figure out what was the way for her to get to where she needed to be, or to be okay with what happened to her, and to come to terms with what happened to her, and actually move on with her grief. Well, move on with her life while dealing with her grief. So this book approached that in a very very like funny way. Messy, yes. Chaotic, yes, but in a really good way. I appreciated that, especially for someone who has not dealt with like proper grief like this. Losing someone that close to you, like a spouse. It was good to read that book. And see it from someone who has hurt. From that point of view, it was really, really nice. Feyi, you were a dumpster fire in this book. Yes, this book is fiction, but Feyi, you were a dumpster fire. Like, your life was just a mess. As in, every time I thought something was going to just be peaceful, it was not, okay? And I was shocked. I mean, first, the best friend switch. I feel like that was something in itself. But I could get past that. We can't help who we fall in love with, right? And to that, I actually have something else to say. We can't help who we fall in love with, but you can choose who you get with, okay? Because you can fall in love with someone and not get with them. Let us actually look at Wuthering Heights for case in point. Heathcliff was a mess. Anyone who chose Heathcliff, they were not going to end up in a stable relationship. That's why he wasn't chosen. I don't care. I understand that whatever souls are made of, his and mine are the same. That quote will live in my heart forever. Oh, and if my future man, because I'm single, honestly, if he doesn't come to me and saying that, I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear what you have to say if you're not saying that to me, okay? I don't want to, if you're not going to tell me that, I love you, if you're not going to pull up with the Mr. Darcy quotes, I don't want to hear it, okay? Let's get back into topic. I do have to speak about classics one day, because you can't do it like the classics did it. But yeah, Feyi, you were chaotic. This was a read. And this was a read. But yeah, I definitely do recommend it. It was an enjoyable summertime read. I won't even lie. And it definitely brought me back. As an island girl, it brought me back home. When he said I'm dancing compas, I said, excuse me? Oh my goodness. it brought me back. If you are an island girl, this will, you'll like that. You'll like, to be fair, if you're an island girl who has moved away, it'll make you feel a bit sad because you're just like, the good food, the good music, the dancing, the sun. This is what I've left my home for. I've left my home for Britain that rains every day, that is temperamental with its weather, that's chaotic with its weather, that sunlight does not actually give heat but gives humidity. This is what I've left it for you. But this book, I gave it 3.5 stars. Simply because open endings are not always a favorite of mine. Yes, they handle the characters well in terms of like keeping the attention on Feyi, but then there were so many potential plots that it took away from it because I'm just like, I honestly want to know what happened with a lot of these characters. The chaos was it was entertaining. It was entertaining. So for that, I definitely put it up. The pace was actually tempered. It was fast enough, so it wasn't like getting me lost with how fast it was going. So I appreciated that. All in all, a really, really good book, and I would definitely recommend it 100%. Like, honestly, guys, pick it up and have some fun this summer. But yeah, that's all from me today in Rants and Reviews. I'm going to rename it because there was barely a review in this in this video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and see you again. Bye.